Hey everybody, it's Perry here. I just wanted to stop in at the beginning of the episode to just say real quick that we recorded this episode before things came out about the situation with Justin's House of Bourbon. This was the day that they put out their press release, so we had not seen that yet. It came out in the evening after we got done recording, so just kind of keep that in mind while you're listening to the episode. It's still a great time, but there are some things that we said that are a little bit outdated even by a few hours, so enjoy! Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of This Is My Bourbon Podcast. I'm your host, Perry. With me this week, as always, it's my co-host, Eric the Whiskey Mutant.
What it is! Look at my face.
buddy.
Look at my face. Look at this.
Look, you have to do this once a year. It's okay. Last time you did it, we were going on our new riff pick.
Oh, yeah, it was bad.
And
I left too much of a goatee then.
And Chad from My Daily Bourbon thought it was the funniest thing he had ever seen in the entire
he took
world.
Pictures of it, and he saved it on his phone, and he still looks at them every day.
What do you think he...
You know,
I know
what he does.
We'll let
You know
people
what he does.
figure that kind of thing out. How you doing?
I'm good.
It's been a long week, I think.
It's been a long week. Been a long work week. A lot of stuff going on. I'm just happy to be here now.
I'm happy that you're here, and I'm also happy that for the first time in I don't even know how long.
Back for the very first time.
Back for the very first time. I who knows how long it's been, but it's long overdue.
17 years.
Well, he spoke before he introduced him, so
Nobody
it's
knows
Papa Ritter.
Hey.
Some may say this show would have never been created without him.
You know what?
Yeah.
You're giving him a lot of credit for.
I'm just saying.
You're not wrong, but you're also.
Makers on the rocks with a splash of water.
There we go.
That's what Perry's made of.
That's what I bleed. When I go to the hospital, they have to, like, instead of giving me a bag of blood, they give me a bag of
That's your
Makers.
DNA.
Makers on the rocks with a splash.
Yeah.
That's my blood type.
Yeah, that's your DNA.
Hey, everybody.
Papa Ritter's back.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
It's been a long time.
Hello.
The show is remarkably different from the last time that you were here.
Very.
I don't know if you feel the same way, but we don't normally have a guest sitting on that side of the table, and it kind of feels like a radio show.
Very much.
Who's our producer?
Well, if he were our
What's our
producer,
time right now, Papa?
if he was our producer, I'd be switching back and forth from that view to this view for the video version.
Today's birthday.
Those things, but
Paul Stanley is 71 of Kiss.
You got to keep us on track. You're like, oh yeah, you guys were talking about this.
yeah, exactly.
Gotta wrap it up.
Been on this
We're
too
getting
long.
Let's go.
the cut it out.
You got a
sign
caller on
from-
line 3.
from Papa Ritter.
We got to get to the questions here.
Yeah.
Before we get into too much of the show, I want to let you know that you can follow us at My Bourbon Pod, at Whiskey Mutant, and at JD Ritter 2. Is that what you are
On what?
Twitter?
On Twitter, I'm JD
It's on
Ritter
Instagram,
2.
too.
On Instagram, you're Ritter 5.
I'm Ritter 5 on
right?
Instagram.
Yeah.
Just Twitter sucks. Just follow him on Instagram.
So every time that I think, every time that something happens with Twitter or has happened,
You blame
with
it on
Twitter
me?
It's his
over the
fault.
over the past couple of weeks, I've been like, why is this not popping up? Why is something not working? Because the big thing too is like, so I'll get a notification on my phone, right? And it used to be, you know how on iPhones, like you do the long
I don't have
click.
an iPhone.
Well, I'm explaining
ahead.
this to you then. You do a long click and it brings
didn't
up like
even
a bigger preview of whatever notification you
you
have.
need to pay that bill.
With Twitter, look what happens with Twitter.
There ain't nobody working there.
That's what I'm saying.
There's nobody working there.
That's what I'm saying.
One
Like
asshole is running the whole place.
Every time that I'm like, why is this not getting fixed? Why is there nobody? It's because Twitter has been bought by a toddler.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody
who
there.
has too much money.
I hate those cars too, man.
Anyway, you can go follow us on social media at My Bourbon Pod, at Whiskey Mutant, at Ritter5, or JD Ritter2. You can check out all of our apparel and merchandise at bourbonshop.threadless.com. Send us questions or comments or thoughts to thisismybourbonshop@gmail.com. This week, we actually have an infrequent segment of the podcast. It's I don't ever really have a name for it, but it's called Bourbon Mailbag.
Oh,
I'm wrong.
What were you going to say?
I thought he was going to say barrel rings.
Oh, we actually do have a barrel rings, which if you want to submit to barrel rings, it's 859-428-8253. You can leave us a voicemail.
I thought I was the only one that ever called in, and I was going to call in yesterday.
Hey, you could have, and that would have been really funny.
Hold up.
Hold up.
You knew you were going to be on the show.
I did, dude.
And you thought about calling in, leaving a voicemail, and then talking to yourself.
No.
Yes, that's what would have happened.
Yeah.
I'm with Eric on this.
It would have happened.
I kind of
I'm glad I didn't.
I kind of
Forget
respect it. I kind of respect it.
I'll hold it for a month or so. I'll figure it out.
respect it.
Oh, God.
And I wish you would have just acted like it wasn't you.
Yeah.
And you'd be like, yeah, that's a really good question.
I could be Pete.
Yeah.
Also, if you are listening, if you're listening to the podcast only, you can head to youtube.com/mybourbonpodcast and subscribe and be able to see the video version of the podcast. It goes up at the same time, usually, unless I have a slight issue with my internet or whatever, which happened again this week.
No.
Good stuff.
No.
Sorry about that, everybody. But that YouTube version is up there as well if you want to go and view it. Subscribe, hit the like button. I know, but it's I tried. Okay, all right.
Come on. Christopher's getting pissed over there. Let's go.
Bell notification as well if you so you can get notifications when new videos go up and when I go live every Thursday night at 8 p.m. And also patreon.com/mybourbonpodcast for as little as $1 a month, for as little as $5 a month is bonus content, including currently we're in the middle of Mutant Madness, which is getting me ready for Matt Madness, courtesy of ADHD Whiskey. And we have the pregame chats that go up every week before every episode.
Yep.
Good listening.
Yeah.
I didn't do that bad on Mutant Madness.
Yeah, Perry
No.
had some competition this week.
I did.
Yeah, badass.
I went from zero competition to competition, so I did indeed have some
You
competition.
did.
That's true. That makes sense.
Exactly. But we also had really good pregame chats.
Yeah.
Too. Pregame chats are fun now for me because it becomes therapeutic.
Yeah.
It helped me a little bit.
Yeah, it's when I don't like I can just be like, let's talk about whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of whatever.
A lot of whatever.
Yeah.
It was good.
It's more personal conversation,
Yep.
I think. We normally start episodes out with Flying Blind or or Sips and Snacks. And we got a double header for you
Hot
guys
dog.
this week because
Hot
Papa
dog.
Ritter's going to be pairing in Sips and Snacks, and he has also prepared a blind flight thing
What do you
sample.
want to do first?
No, it's sample. It's the same thing.
What do you want to do first?
Look, he knows how Flying Blind goes.
Right.
I think you put him through
All right.
the trenches of Sips and Snacks.
Since this is Perry's dad, I didn't get his favorite snack. I got Perry's favorite snack because that's what dads do. They usually just get the stuff for their kids.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. Yeah, yeah.
So we are pairing the oatmeal cream pie. Perry's favorite. He
Dude, I
honestly didn't
freaking
even
love
care if I
oatmeal cream
paired it.
pies.
He just
What's my
wanted
favorite
to eat.
snack?
Perry's mom.
Shut up. What's your favorite snack?
Yeah.
I don't know, like mixed nuts.
These nuts.
No, bringing it back, old school, baby. I like it.
You know,
Hand me a glass, Papa Ritter.
you kind of got to go to Bugles.
Bugles?
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's a good road
Bugles are
snack.
good. I
That's
mean,
a
right
good
off the
road
top of
snack
my
for me.
lid.
There you go.
Thank you.
It's a good road snack.
It is.
All right. So, Papa Ritter.
Eric,
Yes.
the mutant,
Yes.
whiskey mutant.
Yes.
Go.
Oh, you have a question?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I was responding.
Gotcha. Okay. I'm not used to being the man in the
It's
middle.
cool.
All right. So usually what I try to do is I try to use a pairing and I take a snack and a pour and I try to make something or elevate something. I'm trying to make this pour better because of the snack cake.
Okay.
So we got a good snack cake. We got something that I really don't like that much.
Okay.
It's okay. But I think when you mix them together, it's going to be the best of the two.
Okay.
So I would take a little bit of the bourbon, just take a little bit of sip, get acclimated to
Can I
it.
smell?
Yeah, you can do it. Yeah, we're not getting any points for this.
Lost points.
Kind of see what's up.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's not that good. Now I'll take a bite of the oatmeal cream pie. And now I'll take a little bit of the whiskey. Just kind of mix it up a little bit.
Somebody ate mine.
Already? You need another one?
What do you mean? I think.
Whoa, whoa,
What do
whoa,
you
whoa,
think?
whoa, 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 whoa.
I think Pete ate mine.
I got a cotton candy.
Okay.
I got a caramel.
Okay.
I have to go back for a little bit more.
Okay, but this time when you go back, you've got to do a pour over. You've got to pour a little bit on top of it. And I'm going to go straight for the pour over because I've had this already.
Well, somebody ate my first cream pie. So.
Quiet.
Dang.
Are you mad?
No, I mean,
No, not you.
I'm not mad at all.
He doesn't care what you think.
Oh, you are right.
Damn right I'm right.
That when I think the filling when it hit, the bourbon hits it, it does turn into like a kind of more candy like. So the moral of the story is, I think this is good because of the cake. What do you think?
Well, is it actually Elijah Craig? Mm-hmm. The 94 small
94.
batch?
It's a pick though.
Oh,
I've notoriously never liked the 94 picks.
no, the 94 picks are rough.
Yeah.
But I completely agree with you. I mean, on its own, it's just like an alcohol bomb.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's
I mean,
nothing there.
it's way too proof heavy. I mean, when I say proof heavy, I mean alcohol heavy or ethanol heavy. But once you actually like pair it with this, yeah, it really does help round it out.
Where's the pick from?
I was just about to ask that.
Sorry.
This was from 2019.
Is this unlimited?
No, this is a liquor mart.
It's what?
Liquor mart in Nicholasville.
Oh, yeah.
I was in there. I never went in there too much, but they had a pick and I grabbed it. Yeah, Rickhouse Q, floor 5, Lake Cumberland Boaters, Liquor Mart 2019. It's not good.
Oh, boy. Lake Cumberland Boaters Association.
But I think adding a cake to this is good.
It helps quite a bit.
Do you have their email address? You can like email them and say, "Hey,
I'd rather not.
your bourbon sucks," but
I mean, I'd
Give us a case, eh?
probably get dragged by a pontoon.
oh god,
You just go kayaking up to it. Be like,
Yeah. What's up?
hey, fellas.
I scare all the fish away.
Yeah.
They get mad at me. It's just a horrible, horrible thing.
That does drink, though, like something that you're using to just enjoy your time more fruitfully.
Yeah, it's just like
Maybe
oh,
out on a boat.
That's 94 proof
on the beach.
bourbon. We don't care
Yeah.
what it tastes like.
That's fine. Anyway, flying
I should have
blind.
brought some jingle jangle from Trader Joe's today, but
Man, have you ever had Jingle Jangle?
What is that?
It's from Trader Joe's. It is. It's a mix of like dark chocolate covered snacks.
Yeah.
oh yeah,
So like mini
Mini.
peanut butter cups, pretzels, caramel popcorn. I mean, there's a bunch of stuff.
It's
that
just a big
goes
bag
into
of stuff.
yeah. It's
Pretty much.
it's a 10.
All right. Let's do a little
Oh, we're doing some training.
training. I'll go head to head with you.
Okay,
this does involve. I mean, Papa Ritter's got to know most of the stuff about this.
You know about this? At least
About this?
the blind you brought. Do you know proof? Do you know what it's called? Do you know what this is called?
Just go ahead.
Do you know what the bottle was like?
Uh-huh.
Okay, just making sure.
Can I?
Okay.
All right,
okay,
let's just
okay.
stop it right now.
Okay.
I'll just say it didn't come from. It's a blend.
It's a blend.
Let's just stop it right
Let's just
now.
stop this.
Just
Just
stop it.
stop this stuff right
It's all
now.
You
over.
blended this.
I did.
Okay.
Okay, so it's not going to be. We can't guess.
You can't
We
guess.
can try to guess what we blended.
Okay.
That's the next
Everything's
level
a
of Matt.
competition.
That's the next level of Matt Madness.
Dissecting a blend.
I had just
Don't
a,
give him any ideas.
I had a smidge of it last night, and I tasted something in there. I want to see if you guys can get it. I know you can.
Okay.
I smell it right now.
Ginger?
I'm
It smells like cherry cordial to me.
getting peppermint.
Oh, it's kind of
Yeah.
like it's kind of chocolate and peppermint.
I'm still getting like a ginger note.
Ooh. The palate is very minty.
Ooh.
Super mint. Ooh. It borderlines toothpaste, Papa Ritter.
It does.
I like the nose a lot. And I kind of enjoy the palate. It's just different. I like weird stuff.
Perry looks like he's gonna vom.
Perry's what?
I'm not going to vomit. I just don't. I don't like it.
You've had it and you liked it.
Oh, okay. Really?
Uh-huh.
You know what I was about to say?
I think we were kind of loaded.
Oh, this is expensive stuff. Oh. Thought you were
He
loaded.
means loaded like drunk.
Oh, okay. I got you.
I've had this
Yep.
recently.
Yep.
Oh, crap.
This, I'm just going to guess this is a blend of a Maker's
good
Mark
taste.
pick and a Wilderness Trail pick.
You're right on part of it.
Okay.
Oh, it's the Wilderness Trail Rye?
No.
Oh.
Is it a Maker's pick?
There's makers in it.
Oh, well, I got a little bit.
Oh, is it your infinity
It
bottle?
is.
Oh,
Oh, and he gives this look of disgust. Like,
what was the last thing you put in the infinity bottle? You remember?
Turkey 101.
Ooh, okay. How much is in this, you think? Like different products?
I don't know.
You
I
don't
really
know.
don't know because I've been working on this for a few years.
For years?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
I mean, there's
It's
a
like
lot
a-
in there.
it's like a minty orange creamsicle.
There is something mint in
Yeah.
there that is
There's a
just
lot of mint.
dominating.
And I don't know
Yeah.
where it's from.
You need to put something else in there.
I think you need something dark. Like older.
Old Forester?
You know. If you go Old Forester, I would say 1920.
That's what I was thinking.
Because it's got to be higher proof.
Yeah.
It's got to have a more of a richness to it because it's so
I would almost say.
so bright.
How much do you put in? Just whatever.
If
A
I
little
have like this much in a bottle left over, and it depends on the bottle.
Do you have a 1792 foolproof?
Not near me.
I do.
Actually, you know what? I
Just
don't
lighter.
think I have any.
I do.
I would put a little bit of 1792 in that thing.
Okay.
I think the proof on that will kind of dominate a little bit, and you'll get like some dark like banana
Right.
and like chocolate and stuff.
Now I didn't.
Just out of curiosity.
I didn't bring this to make it the greatest thing we've ever had.
No.
I
I'm just saying, like,
we're
I
not.
just
No.
like
We're testing your infinity bottle at the moment, so we're just adding.
What
It's minty.
it is
like-
minty.
Yeah.
I'm just curious.
what Knob Creek will do.
I mean, just a drop of Knob Creek, because I mean, like that's pretty equivalent to what you're going to wind up putting in, right? You know, like
125 proof, like darker noted.
yeah.
Ooh, the nose smells better.
Oh, that
did it.
that helped it so much.
Well, this is just like
Yep.
it's my first.
The mint is
stab at
gone.
it. Yep.
I still get some mint.
No, like it's there,
Cement
but it's
or
not.
mint?
It's not what
So
it was.
I get
though.
some mint.
He gets some cement.
It's not
No.
what it was.
I think it's its cousin. Because now it's turned into like
What's the cousin of mint?
peppermint.
Peppermint. It's
Or-
pretty much the same.
But there's like
Okay,
winter.
I would say there's toothpaste and then there's a candy cane. Those are cousins.
So I think this went from being toothpaste to being candy cane.
yes, that makes sense.
But like covered in chocolate.
I like that.
Yeah.
Good call.
Yeah.
That's how I feel at the very least. I also feel like I want to know what you guys have been drinking recently. Papa Ritter, I'm going to go with you first.
I'll go with Eric.
Okay, or Eric.
Me?
Still drinking my stuff.
Okay. What have I been drinking? I still don't know I know where I got this. I don't know who gave this to me
I didn't.
because they didn't really
Well,
give
that
it.
mystery's solved.
They didn't really give it to me. I took it. This was I
Stole it from him?
I had some of that old Pogue. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, that's Todd Cooper.
From the meetup? That was his?
Yeah.
The whole bottle
Yeah.
that I took?
Yeah.
Did they
I didn't
leave
know
it?
that.
Didn't he leave it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he left it and I kept
We
it.
had a bunch of bottles that got left behind, and
When did we know that? When did we find out it was Todd?
okay, to be fair, I pretty much assume that if somebody has left an old Pogue bottle, it's Todd Cooper.
I didn't know. I don't know.
Yeah, that's his daily drinker.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Really?
Well, it's so good.
It's so
I've
good.
never had it.
I would have brought it.
You got it?
I do.
Hold on.
I had some of that the other day,
And
and I had a little bit more of it the other day. It was so good.
which was the
It's
better?
90 proof. I think. Is it 90?
91.
91, and it's got so much flavor. And I've been trying to, through the week, if I have a night off or something like that, I pour low proof for my pour of the day. And then maybe on the weekends I have some high proof stuff. Just kind of leveling things out.
That's okay.
What is
What
all
happened
over
to
the bottle?
it? Yeah. Did you have a leak?
It's Christopher?
Christopher did it.
Lord.
God almighty.
This thing's peppered.
Christopher got a little too excited.
He got happy with
You can see it there. There's Christopher right there on
Hold
the
on,
bottle.
let me highlight it here.
Look, he got all over the bottle. My goodness.
Okay, anyway, we're gonna get
But this is good.
Well, let's have a little.
something's gonna get
We're getting,
struck down on
the
YouTube.
FCC is going to come down.
Yeah,
and
right. They don't have
Howard
any
Stern
control
is.
over YouTube.
Thank you,
but-
Eric.
You're welcome.
David.
Sir.
Well, I was supposed to say your name. Sorry.
Do what?
I was like, you're welcome. And you said, David. Say my name, son.
So I was on a service call with Verizon the other day, and the customer service lady called me Sir David.
Sir David.
I'm like, and I told Mom and Sarah, and they're like, no, don't start. And there's a family that lives kind of catty corner from us, and they have twin daughters, and one of the daughters calls me the David.
The David.
The
Amazing.
David. And she's like, she calls all her friends. Mom's like, she calls all of her friends that are named David the David, and I'm like, I like the David. I like Sir David,
But you didn't feel special after that, though, did you? If she calls all her
Yeah,
friends.
no, but this woman called me Sir David that's the first time.
Yeah, that's
so I'll take that.
Yeah.
I'll take that.
I remember when you were knighted. Yeah. I
That's what
remember.
Ritter means.
Really?
Yeah,
Ritter means night in
Ritter
German.
means night in German.
Scary night.
No. I'm not
He's not.
I'm not feeling scary, Perry.
not.
You better
this
not.
week.
I'll leave.
Please don't.
You want me to tell you what I've been drinking?
Yeah, are you done?
You done?
Oh, this is good. I just want to talk about Old Pogue because I don't think it's something that gets
Yeah,
mentioned
it's
a
a
lot.
Northern Kentucky distillery.
It smells so good.
Very, very small craft place, but I mean, they're awesome. They do
It's
really,
so
really
good.
cool stuff.
Good.
Kind of dusty, but
Dusty cherries.
yeah.
Yeah.
Papa Ritter, tell us what you've been drinking recently.
Well, this is a shout out to my best high school friend, Mark Harmon, who is now a
What up, Mark?
grandfather.
Crazy.
His stepdaughter, Abby, and her husband, Matt, had a baby boy on Wednesday. His name is Cannon.
What up, Cannon?
Nice.
And Mark sent me a picture of Eagle Rare yesterday. He goes, "Is this thing good?" And he's not a much of a bourbon drinker. He's more of a Scotch drinker and a beer drinker. And and I go, "Yeah,
Yeah, it
And I
says
said,
rare on it.
I've got some at home, and I will toast Cannon tonight."
Oh, that's nice.
So I had Eagle Rare for Cannon last night. I don't know if
There
Mark
you go.
listens to the show, but I will
I
try
like
to
that.
get him to listen to it.
I like
I hope he
that.
does.
And
Hi,
anyway,
hi, Uncle Mark.
so Uncle Mark's not Uncle Mark
Mark.
anymore. He's Grandpa Mark.
Grand Uncle Mark.
Hi, Mark.
Mark's a good dude. Mark's a great dude. I love him.
Mark's wonderful.
I miss him.
Tear me apart, Lisa.
Oh, I did not hit her. I did not.
Mark.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Oh boy. What were you drinking during the live stream last
Well,
night?
I was drinking on
What he was.
no, because I
You didn't
so
tell him?
just
Okay.
give me a second. He's jumping to a lot of questions and conclusions here.
Did you have fun? Was it fun? Huh? What movie did you see?
My favorite is my mother-in-law. Anytime she'll see a video of a dog, she'll say to Lucy or Emma, "Whose dog is that?"
Like they know every dog.
Charlie Brown's.
Whose dog is that?
It's like I don't know. It's on TikTok.
Who dog that is?
Who's that? Who
Obama's. How the hell do I know?
Anyway, so I had the live stream last night with Mark McLaughlin.
More marks.
More
Marks all
marks
over you.
from Old Line Spirits, and wasn't able to get a bottle sent to me from them in time. So I drank on that Knob Creek that I just splashed
Gotcha.
into the Infinity bottle.
I listened to a little bit of his story about being in the Navy. Pop was in the Navy.
I brought that up to him.
Yeah, well, I think I tapped out before that.
I think you were in after I said that, actually, because that was pretty early that I brought it up.
Okay.
Anyway, yeah, so
Well, whatever. I missed it.
it's fine.
Tell him about it.
They were in the Navy.
I'm just fine.
I got to be honest, I wasn't really listening.
I
was just in for drinking.
Like father, like son.
I just wanted to have a good time. You know, I'm here for a good time, not
Nothing
for
but a
long
good time.
Yeah.
Brett Michaels.
Honestly, I've not really had anything too off the wall over the past week. I had another of the 2022 Bourbon County Stouts the other day, though.
Which one?
And just the
One I gave
standard,
you, or-
the standard offering.
red?
I wound up with another extra of it, so I was like, well, I may as well.
Why not?
A really, really good year for Goose Island. Yeah, I mean, you know, as of recording, I'm going to be doing the day that we're recording, I'm going to be going to Louisville tonight to play some shows. So if you were there, thank you so much for coming out. I'm going to wind up putting the recording out too from those shows.
Ooh, nice.
On
Bootlegs.
on Bandcamp. Yeah, right.
You'll be back in March too, right?
I will be back in March 24th and 25th, for basically the same kind of shows. But
Same dude.
things will, still with Drew. I'll have probably changed some things up by then. If you came to the January shows, it's going to wind up being different by the time we get to March. But this is me getting back into the groove of things and getting a little bit more accustomed to being back on stage.
Nice.
More than anything.
Good.
So first night is or was all acoustic. Second night's going to be a mix of acoustic and electric. So
Nice.
it's gonna be fun, man.
Fun.
I've got a bunch of new songs that I'm debuting as well. Stuff that people have either never heard before or only a couple of people have heard in the past. But for the most part, I'm really, really excited for it. I woke up this morning. I in the past I would wake up with show anxiety, and it would just kind of last throughout the whole day.
I did today.
And for this show, yeah. But
I've been up since 4:30.
but it's been enough time, and I'm I've kind of put myself in a different mental space than I was when I last did a show. And I didn't wake up with anxiety. I just woke up with peace.
Good.
And I was like, okay, it's
Good.
show day.
Say with Pete?
No, Pete's.
Damn Pete.
I woke up with Pete's.
Oh, Pete's. That stuff sucks.
Yeah.
Peated stuff? You've been drinking peated
Pete
stuff?
Moss.
Pete Moss.
No, I woke up with peace.
Peace. I got you. Peace with a C.
And I was
Waking
like,
up with peace is nice.
all right, it's show day.
I wake up with P.
I do too, actually.
I had to go.
It's getting worse.
It's bad.
Oh, honey.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Anyway,
On the cusp of 60. It's
so this has been kind of a big week for bourbon. We're going to get to our review here in just a bit, but there are a couple of things that I wanted us to touch on before we got to the review. The first being, and I think this is at least, as far as I'm concerned, this is the one that I think I have the least insight to, and it was the Sazerac lawsuit against the Republic National Distilling Corporation, which essentially said that they had a bunch of unpaid invoices with them. And it got down to like the RNDC didn't have, or had a bunch of like product that was just in warehouses, and they hadn't shipped it out to people and everything. But
so they had stockpiled it.
yeah, kind of, but with no intention of ever like distributing
Right.
it.
Think they got any
I'm sure they got Blanton's.
plans?
Yeah, I'm sure they got Blanton's.
Dude, I'm in.
Let's go.
Okay. We'll see you.
All right. See you later.
Here's
Solo
my
show.
Here's my one thing about it, and like I said, I have the least amount of insight into this and the least like opinions, I would say, but part of me can't help but go, well, is that why we haven't seen a lot of Sazerac products on the market over the past few years? Have they just been sitting on stuff, and Buffalo Trace hasn't been distributed it was?
I think that's a good question.
Yeah, very good.
Whether it was enough to make an impact or not, like that's the first question you ask.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
And RNDC has always been kind of shady, too. So I mean, it's not something that I would put past them, that they've just kind of held on to
Right.
all these bottles, but at the same time, I mean, I don't know, like they're not gonna operate without money,
And what are they holding it back for?
Yeah, exactly.
Themselves.
Yeah.
Probably.
Or more revenue.
Yeah.
And
Well, now they don't even got the product.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. They
Yeah.
can't even distribute it.
Speaking of not having product, too.
It's tough.
So I know that people, and I intended to kind of make a video on this, and I may too, just to, have it be like a source for people to come to and like, have a conversation or pose questions or whatever. But it's no surprise or news to anybody, just based on the news cycle, that Justin's House of Bourbon in both Louisville and Lexington got raided by the ABC, the Alcoholic Beverage Control, this past week, and they walked away with a bunch of bottles. And we talked about it a little bit on the pregame chats, but what was your all's kind of initial reaction to seeing this?
My comment was
happen?
I wasn't surprised, but there's also, but Perry commented that, and Eric, that, you know, somebody might have been a little bit upset. And there are a lot of bad people out there that want to bring good people down. And we all know, we some people that are listening for the first time and they've never been to Justin's before. Their prices are quite elevated.
Yep.
And it's hard to buy.
Yep.
In there. But then again, he's also a businessman that's trying to make money.
Yeah. Yeah, I was surprised because like Papa Ritter was saying, that, you know, it feels like somebody might have been out to do something and told somebody to go and check them out or something like that. I don't know the specifics of that.
Yeah.
No.
I just know, yes, we all have had our experience with Justin. When I first got into bourbon, like I didn't understand it because I walked in not knowing how things worked, and
right.
I was like, oh man, they have a Weller 12 or something. But I saw the price, and then they kind of gave me the impression the first time that was like, oh, that's just how it is. And I was like, I don't understand. So I felt kind of bad. But as I started learning more and learning what they do and found out they're very open with what they do, like, okay, it's their thing. And then I realized they have a whole front that's just picks and regular
right.
things. And they have a tasting bar that's amazing that you can go hang out and do stuff. So I kind of came around pretty quick, but I mean, I don't know. I feel like, to me, it just feels like somebody was burnt, mad, or whatever because they didn't get something or they didn't like the pricing and they may have sent somebody a tip. I don't know. That's just me, Whiskey Mutant, speculating.
Well, there are a couple of different aspects of this that I'm viewing it from, or a couple of different viewpoints. The first one is what I think most everybody I feel would consider to be the obvious, is that they were conducting secondary market business in a physical location that was also conducting primary market business.
Yeah. See that?
You know? And I part of that does make me uncomfortable, I guess, or make me kind of scratch my head. But the thing about it is, they've also been open for 4 years, and they're 5 years, I guess, at this point. There is
Why
an
now?
aspect of that's part of it,
Yeah.
too. But that kind of leans into the other viewpoint that I have, which I share with Eric, that there probably was somebody who reported them to the ABC for housing bottles that they either didn't have permission to house or that they were conducting business in a way that was, and this is subjective, but shady, right? And so the point of view that I come from, it actually goes back to, I think it was 2018 when Jake's Cigar Bar out in Brandon Crossing also got raided by the ABC. And the reason that they got raided was because they were also a drop-off point for people who were going to pick up bottles that they had won or bought on Facebook groups or something like that. And, they weren't able to meet up with the person, or they, just something of that nature. And technically, legally, that is not allowed.
No.
They are not legally allowed to do that.
No.
It's a law that goes back hundreds of years to when they were establishing whether or not people could drink on Sundays. And, liquor stores would hold stuff in the back so that people would have access to it and everything. And it just kind of like got grandfathered into a law that does it, like, it wasn't exactly the same, but it was just kind of like an offshoot of it and everything. So that happened at Justin's in 2018.
Jake's,
excuse me.
Yep.
Side note from that too, I was there the day that happened, but I was there like a couple of hours before it happened because I had a bottle that I had to pick up that I had bought.
So you're part of the problem.
I'm part of the problem. On secondary.
I mean, what are we going to do here?
I'm part of the problem.
Guy.
I'm part of the problem.
I did the best I could, kids.
Yeah, that's all you can do.
That's right. But it was so serendipitous because, I was like, I got to go grab this. I had like a free afternoon or something. And I was like, I need to go get this bottle. I was there for a couple hours. And within like 40 minutes to an hour after I left, they got raided.
I think I remember you telling me about
this. So I wouldn't have, I would have lost this bottle that I had paid for, And so like
what was the bottle?
I think it was an Old Weller antique.
Worth it.
Like the squat bottle.
Totally.
Oh, it's 100% worth it.
Worth it.
Yeah.
Totally. Still got it?
No, it's long gone.
Dang.
But it has all of those same earmarks to me the Justin's raid has the same earmarks to me that the Jake's one did.
Did Jake survive?
Yes.
They still out there.
Yeah, they're still out
Justin's
there.
has the possibility of still surviving.
That's
under
the
the guidelines of the ABC.
That's the thing too. They still have their liquor license.
Right.
They're still technically allowed to operate. They have been closed since Tuesday.
Right.
When the raids happened. Well, no, actually raids. Because they did wind up going to the Lexington.
Who knows what it might be like when this comes out.
Could be.
Yeah, could be.
Could be.
Anyway, it's not a death sentence for Justin's. But it is going to shift the way that they potentially do business. But I also don't think that it's going to drastically change their business model.
Yeah.
Because they do legally, and the other aspect of this is too, they were part of putting forth and pushing through the legislation that allowed for businesses to purchase and then resell
the vintage
bottles.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's not like they're doing anything outside of the law.
Any liquor store
in their
do
business.
That. Yeah.
But
sure.
the thing is, and this is the only thing that like makes logical sense to me, that they were a drop-off point much in the way that Jake's was.
Right. Made the middleman to...
Exactly. Yeah. And somebody got their feelings hurt, or somebody said, we have to shut down the secondary market, and the best way to do that is to show people that we're not taking any crap,
right.
And even if they have paid for it, they're not going to get those bottles,
right.
which
right.
I think inherently is very selfish, and I think is very short-sighted.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother conversation that I'm not really at liberty to speak about, and I don't think you and I really want to get into.
No, I think the only...
I do. No, I'm kidding.
I think earlier when I was like, there's one more thing about it. I think the thing that bugs me a lot about it too is just that people, I mean, you see it on every post about it, every comment about it. It's like the majority of people are just being straight up negative. And it's like...
Negative in what way? Towards Justin?
Yeah. It's like, this is their...
Like they had it coming.
Because they're doing what they're doing?
Yeah, because they're making comments like, well, you had to pay this to get Blanton's there anyway. Just calm down for a second, because this is somebody's like business.
Yeah.
This is a place where honestly, you
and I talked about this,
and that's what I
privately.
said earlier too.
Yeah.
It's like
the last time I got to hang out and have a drink with my friend Dixon Deadman was at Justin's. They did a release for 2XO.
he's my friend too.
I know. I'm just trying to like drop the mic here. So
You totally did.
I'm getting heated about it because I'm reading these comments.
We all were like arguing over who's going to drop the mic because
I just dropped it.
You totally did.
No.
well, I'm better friends with him than you are.
I know you are. Just stop. You never did a hard style pose with him though. I did.
Well, that's your
I
thing.
just knew him
I know
once.
it's
Met
my
him once.
thing. But the moral of my story is, like, calm down. Like,
Yeah.
you can be negative and all, but don't just assume it's because they sold bottles for a high price. They've done that the whole time, and they're very honest about that. And people have come through and bought bottles that they've never got to try or have, and that's just what
never
they
will.
did.
Well, it goes back to this conversation that I think is ongoing and also is currently very prevalent when we're talking about the secondary market.
Yeah.
It is no business of your own how somebody else, for better or worse, unless it is doing something to bring harm to another person, how an individual decides to spend their money.
Agreed. It's nobody's business.
It's nobody's business. And this isn't even like a capitalism thing.
No, and
It's just like a privacy thing. Like,
Yeah.
if you want to go out and overpay, I went to a store the other day, actually yesterday, because I was like, I got a little bit of time. I haven't been in the store in a while. And I walked in and I saw that they had Van Winkle 10 on the shelves.
Yeah.
I was like, and I said this to the clerk too. This is probably going to be out of my price range. But how much is the Van Winkle? And he rang it up for $1,060.
Nice.
Did you get it?
No.
Nice.
And he goes, he was like, well, I could, make a deal with you and everything. I was
10%
like,
off.
Wait, drop 60?
yeah, exactly. 1,000 even. Because I'm really hurting for those extra $60 if I'm paying
Yeah.
it. Yeah. But the point is, like, if you're offended by somebody else spending their money the way that they want to, you need to take a good hard look at yourself.
And the other thing about that,
What are you?
Who
offended?
cares?
What are you offended by here?
Yeah.
by somebody like enjoying what they've worked for.
Yeah. And the other thing about that too is if you're offended because a business decides they want to charge that much, which they are allowed to charge, then calm down too. They can do that.
Exactly.
But that doesn't mean just because Justin's charges that much doesn't mean they are bad people. Like they're just running a business.
They're running a business.
Yep.
Just because your local store does that doesn't mean they're bad people. They're running a business. Chill out and just let them do what they want to do. You don't want to shop there, don't shop there.
Don't shop there. What's the album that you wish you had?
What's the album I wish I had?
Yeah.
Right now?
like a vinyl record.
Like a vinyl album.
The
An original.
WWE Volume 1, like the 90s.
Would you
The
pay...
rap
intro
album?
songs?
Like
the intro
okay.
songs.
I thought maybe there was like a
No,
rap album or something.
No, the intro
They
songs.
talk about that on Busted Open all the time. Anyway, what would you pay?
Right now?
Yeah.
I don't really collect vinyl.
Okay.
What would I would
Okay,
If
what
you
about
did,
what about a bottle?
Hypothetically.
a bottle? You tell me a bottle. You know what I like.
Blanton's.
Let's go in. No. Let's go in 1985. Turkey 101 8-year bottle.
What would I pay for that?
What would you pay for that?
If somebody was like, I got this, knowing what I have in my savings that I'm allowed to spend and stuff like that, I'd drop $500 on it right now.
Okay, that's your business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have
Who
money
gives-
saved up to do fun stuff with, and if I want to drop it on a bottle of Turkey 101 from the 80s, I'll
And
do
who
it.
gives a damn?
Who gives a fuck? That's what I say.
I say, who gives a crap? But
I said damn, and
it's like a level. It's like crap, damn, fuck. But the moral of the story is, I've said that a lot. I don't know why that's stuck in my
it's
head.
me. It's all me.
But
Eric,
it's
Dude,
just like
it's not.
save your comments for yourself. We don't know. As of right now, we have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, exactly.
No, we don't.
This is somebody's business, how they want to run it. Somebody who's had, like Perry said, they've had a business for years now. Never had any issues other than people just complain about the prices. So what? They've got other good stuff there. There's tasting bars. There's picks. There's everything.
They're the good people.
Just stop. Save your comments for when you know what's going on.
Here is the question that I think I would pose the most to people who are concerned with it being anti-capitalist or anti-whatever, anti-just proper business. Would you rather that they form a business that pays taxes, goes back into the economy, and actually makes a profit, or they have an underground business that has not been approved with a certificate to operate, an operator's license, whatever the crap, and they're basically just making money for themselves? Like, what would you rather? If that is your main concern, that the economy is suffering because of one business doing something that you technically don't agree with on principle, what is your preference here?
Your first scenario sounds like a union, kind of type union.
But I'm saying
No, I know.
more of like, do you want them to create something that is going to benefit the economy, or do you want them to do something that only benefits themselves? And I think that that's the biggest issue that people have with the secondary market right now, is that there is so much self-involvement with it that it's not actually doing anything to bolster the bourbon market or the bourbon community, but instead is benefiting the people who have made an initial investment, but then they're looking to make a profit without actually doing anything to support the economy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
I know,
doesn't that feel like what the root of the problem is?
Yeah.
And I think that's what frustrates me the most about it, is that you can't have your cake and eat it too. If you believe in this free market, but you also believe in your right to privacy, those two things don't always line up. What, Snuffleup?
Yeah.
It's Snuffy, man.
I know. I just kind of went.
Chats. Those two things are not mutually exclusive, I think. And you have to accept the fact that people are going to make moves, they're going to make money, and they're going to find ways to, I mean, it's a term that's not what up
Made a move.
yeah it's a term that's
How's the
not
movie?
Nice popcorn.
it's a term that's fairly recent, but your side hustle,
Yeah.
but it's not, it's also
It's
not,
happened forever.
and that's the thing too, it's not
happened and
limited to
gone on
bourbon
forever.
It's not limited to
No.
bourbon. It's shoes.
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 Pokemon cards.
Baseball cards, Pokemon cards. There's so
happens.
much crap. And
You can go into any base,
Eggs.
any eggs.
Now. Now.
But dude, you can go into any card shop,
Yeah.
and want a Tom Seaver freaking rookie card,
Yeah.
and it is determined by what was the book,
Beckett.
Beckett.
Yeah.
yeah.
But
yeah.
but the owner of the
can
store
put
can
whatever
go
he wants
screw
to.
it. I'm going to do it for $5,000, and some
course.
dumbass is going to come and pay
It's a
for it.
business.
It's how it happens.
Yeah.
It's gone on forever.
It
Make your move.
I think that we just are.
Not that move.
Oh, sorry.
I think what we're seeing is just bourbon being used as a scapegoat for a larger issue and a larger conversation that we are not ready to have as a country or as a global economy.
Because it's hot.
No, exactly. But shoes are hot too.
It's very.
are these conversations in small shoe groups being had the way that they are in bourbon?
Are there shoe podcasts?
There are. Of
course there are.
Yeah, I listen to
Yeah.
several. There are a lot of talk
Do you
about
really?
people. Yeah,
Okay.
I promise.
Seriously.
I've talked about it on here.
I missed those.
But there's a lot of like sites that they say they overprice and different things, and like they should.
But there's not this like wave of we have to address this situation and knock them down and
they've
not
shut
cut them
down-
off at the knees.
They've shut down.
They
second,
who?
Like Nike. Nike. The brands have shut down secondary sellers.
So do you see somebody like Buffalo Trace doing that?
I mean, Van Winkle tried.
Well, they failed.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, but shoes is like an individual person that doesn't have a business. Like, they're just well known like sellers. They like shut them down.
So what separates a shoemaker from a distillery then in their quest to shut down secondary operations? Because
I don't know.
Elves.
I'm confused. I don't know what you're asking. Like,
I'm
should a distillery
asking-
do this, or do you think a distillery should
I'm
do
asking why have shoe companies been successful in this, but distilleries haven't been?
that? Gotcha.
What you
gotcha.
do?
Hit my ear in the microphone.
Gotcha. So, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe
We're just gonna cut away for a second here so
I'm
we can
good. You can come back.
I don't know. Maybe it's easier. Maybe it's easier for a shoe company because it's not. I don't know. Maybe.
I mean, they
maybe
should be
it's-
under the same regulations.
I mean, it
that
should. It should.
Distilleries are.
I'm just saying. I think secondary shoe sellers are way more open about what they do as opposed to other people. You know what I mean? They're.
Oh,
Sure.
so it's an alcohol thing.
I think. Well, I think it's.
I think that's what is at the core of the problem is that there is not a stigma of people can't have shoes because they enjoy them, you know, but you know, like shoes are still like an acceptable collector's item.
No, I'm just saying like they're like all over Instagram selling and they're open about it as opposed to like secondary people are usually like hush hush.
That's what
Yeah,
I'm saying because alcohol bourbon does still have that mindset for a lot of people where it's like
there was never a shoe prohibition.
yeah, nobody prohibited shoes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We'd all be in socks.
Yeah.
You
So,
can
I don't know.
only wear Tevas.
I don't know, but there is a
Crocs.
similar thing, but like there have been a lot more cases that I've read about people selling shoes secondary and people doing copies of shoes and bootleg shoes, and as opposed to like we've heard a random like people making fake bottles and reselling bottles and stuff, but like
I don't think that's happening the way that it was.
No.
4 or 5 years
but
ago.
it's still happening. Like there's tons of lawsuits with like an independent shoemaker does like a very similar shoe to like a Dunk or like an Air Force, and like Nike takes them to court for it.
Well, that's different from reselling.
But I know
That's
I know.
a copyright.
That's a
thing.
copyright deal, yeah.
less of a-
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I'm just saying like I'm just saying I'm seeing more shoe brands like that do more things like that as opposed to distilleries who are, you know, if you see a bottle that looks the same or you see, you know, a similar product, you don't really hear about like a big distillery taking somebody to court or anything like that.
Yeah. Circling back to Justin's itself, I think that what they did was establish what it would look like for a business, a brick and mortar business, to rely upon something like the secondary market. But then they also just kind of shut down the competition. You know, I mean, like nobody else is really like opening another. There's no Perry and Eric's den of whiskey that sells.
Could be.
I mean, sure there could be, but I'm just saying, like, there's really nothing.
There's that
they're not
one in
competing
Covington.
against. Oh, Revival.
Yeah, they sell a bunch of old bottles and stuff, right?
Yeah, but
I'm not saying there's. I'm hoping.
Are they Perry and Eric's too?
Hopefully, I
or-
didn't give anybody a
No,
deal. I'm mad at them too. I want to go.
I think
There's some
don't know.
asshole up there that's probably like, I want to take, I want to shut them down.
Sure.
yeah. anyway, the point just stands that they're an easy target because they're one of a kind.
Yeah. I mean, there's billboards.
Yeah, go for it.
There's billboards, and and people come through, and they go to Louisville, and they go to Lexington, and they see it, and they complain about it, or they love it. I mean, it's just...
I mean, they directly advertise the bottles. They directly advertise for sale the bottles that everybody who considers themselves a bourbon collector or a bourbon enthusiast wants to get. The Van Winkles, the Blantons, the Elijah Craig 18s.
And listen, if you don't feel like doing business on Facebook group or whatever, and you got the extra money, you can go to Justin's.
You want to put it back into
Justin's.
the economy or whatever.
You can go to Justin's.
Yeah, there is a literal place for you to go to, so you can feel like you're like you're actually doing something for your economy.
Yeah.
But anyway, I don't look. I love the guys at Justin's. I don't want.
They've been good to you too,
and they have for sure. And I don't want to ever see them fail.
And that's the thing I was saying. Like, it's somebody's business. Like, I mean, they have bills to pay just like everybody else. Like, despite how you think they do business or what's happening,
They're genuinely not hurting anybody.
No, it's
I mean, that's my biggest thing.
all
Is like
comes
do
back to
whatever
this
you.
is whiskey.
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly.
it's
something we have fun and we enjoy, and it's like Perry always says, whiskey is not a necessity; it's a privilege.
Exactly.
it is.
Did I say that right?
You said it right that time.
I mean, essentially, yeah. I phrase it differently.
I messed it up. I've heard you say it so many times.
Eric,
Well,
Eric.
I should have known. I should have wrote it down, and I should have accidentally acted like I dropped something. I should have looked at my phone, and I should have said it the right way. I'm sorry.
You should have written it on your arm.
I'm sorry.
There's no room.
Say it the right way.
Bourbon is not a. See, even I've said it 1,000 times, and I can't remember.
It's okay.
Bourbon is all bourbon is whiskey, but not all whiskey is bourbon.
Oh yeah, this is not. Oh no.
Are we
This
gonna?
is
No.
not. This is not a bourbon charity.
This is a bourbon business.
That's it.
No, what I said, I think
It
is
must be 51% corn.
it must.
Yeah.
It has to
Aged
be.
in new charred oak containers,
Yes.
made within the continental United States. No, what I say is bourbon is a commodity. We don't have any like.
Pretty sure you've never said it's a
I
commodity.
don't never heard that before.
I feel like I have.
I don't know.
I thought you said it's not a necessity. It's a privilege.
I've probably said something I just used a different word,
I still did it wrong.
a synonym.
I still did it wrong.
Whatever.
Anyway,
The
you
point
get
yourself
the point.
up, Eric.
The point still stands.
You're fine.
I'm going
we-
to go pee. I'll tell you that.
We don't need bourbon. We give ourselves the luxury.
Luxury.
There we
That's
go.
the one.
Bourbon is a luxury.
Man, y'all ever heard the
item.
Stone song "Luxury"? It's so good.
No. Anyway,
I'm going to go pee.
all right, we're back.
That
Sorry,
was a good pee.
was it?
I gotta go now.
Oh my gosh.
We just shook his bladder. We jumped back into the seats and it shook a little pee out.
Every trip, we'd get gas. We're up a mile away. Sarah, I gotta go to the bathroom.
I think I need to pee
It's
now.
like, God damn it, we just we just
You
stopped.
just got off the exit and you're like, oh,
Pretty much. No, I mean that was not an uncommon thing.
There was one spring break that we hit every rest area in the state.
Oh, between Lexington and Gatlinburg. I mean, it was.
I gotta pee.
That's
a
at least
very
3.
consistent thing.
And it's only
used to-
like a 2.5 hour drive.
Yeah, exactly.
I used to take Sarah to the farm, and I go, okay, pee before we go, because we're gonna go to Mimi and Pops after we're done. Okay, get to the farm. I gotta pee. I'm like, gosh,
So why she sounding like that?
pretty much.
She was very screechy.
I could see that.
That's not true. She wasn't.
No, she wasn't.
We do that as
I gotta read this book.
she's not like it anymore, bro. All right, let's move on. We are going to review finally the first two.
Finally,
Well, I don't mean in the context of the show. I mean in general.
Tired of us all.
The first 2 barrel proof batches of Larceny and Elijah Craig barrel proof from Heaven Hill.
This was sent to you, mind you?
That one was, yes. And so were the Elijah Craig samples. We had to crowdsource the Elijah Craig samples at first from our buddy Tony Benavides.
Tony,
Tony, thank you so much for sending these to us. And I had to, so backstory, I guess, I had to send an email to our contact at Heaven Hill asking if we were going to wind up getting the
Excuse me.
The Elijah Craig anytime soon, because it was like everybody else had gotten it already. Yeah. I was worried that something had happened with the mailing list, but turns out that we're fine.
Yeah,
they sent it to us.
It's
about
time.
So thank you, Tony. Thank you, Heaven Hill.
Thank you,
and
Tony.
Also, they didn't know that my number 1 of last year was the Parkers. So I was like, hey, just in case you didn't know.
So when they send
Here you
you
go.
that Parker's, you can just give that to me. You already have a bottle.
I don't know if they're going to do
Barry
it.
told me about your reaction when you saw the bottle last week.
Yeah, I was right there.
You son of a...
son of a...
I told you. That's exactly what he said.
I did, and I was just chilling. I was like,
What's that?
Eric,
what's that?
a funny side note, when Perry, Lucy, and Eden come over for dinner, whatever night,
Wednesday usually.
Wednesday or Sunday, Perry will gonna go downstairs. Because that's where
your stuff is.
the stuff is.
Well,
Yeah.
I'll typically go, all right, I'm going to go raid your booze.
I go, okay.
You ever just leave anything down there that you didn't tell him about, and he's like, "What the hell?"
Yeah, there's been the makers that
Yeah, he's got the last year's BR whatever B
The
Arthur.
wood finish things.
Yeah,
B Arthur's down there.
B Arthur's down there.
It was you.
and there's that mod. Mod. It was me.
You may need to get out of here.
It
No, the
stinks down there.
BR2s or
We haven't even done
BRTs.
those,
Excuse
have
me.
we?
No, we haven't. But
Do what?
the BRTs, BRT
No, what
01 and
did
2.
Eric say?
We haven't reviewed those yet.
Yeah.
On the show.
Well, next time I'm on.
There we go. But
My
anyway,
contribution
There we go.
without toothpaste.
yeah. So I typically go over and I'm like, let's see what Papa Ritter's
And Papa Ritter doesn't have a lot.
I love how he refers to himself. as Papa Ritter.
Papa Ritter's getting angry.
How about this?
Papa Ritter's mad right now. Whiskey Mutin's going to review these.
All right, what's Whiskey Mutant
Let's
think
go,
about
dog.
about the nose on the
Ritter.
Larceny?
Man.
Are we Larceny first?
Yes.
Okay.
It's a
Did you dig the...
alcohol-y weeded bourbon on the nose. Like I would have this and enjoy it based on the nose, but just knowing that like I know this is barrel proof and I'm going to have something barrel proof.
When I first tried this a couple of weeks ago on my live stream, my initial reaction was alcoholic cornbread.
Yeah, I think we talked about that.
Yeah, and I
remember you saying
still
that.
kind of stand by that, but it's gotten a little bit rounder. At least
a
on
sweet
the nose
cornbread.
since then. Yeah,
It's very sweet. It's sweet and boozy.
yeah.
With some cinnamon in there. I might still have Little Debbie's in my...
Little Deborah.
Oh, it's gotten better. Oh, it's
like.
definitely opened up.
though.
Ooh.
That's a cinnamon roll?
If you made cinnamon roll cornbread. Yeah, right?
Like extra butter on top.
But if you, like, the base of it was cornbread cinnamon roll.
Cornbread cake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you still put the icing on top. Oh, it would. That's exactly what I'm getting from that.
There's also like... It's like the crust is just a little burnt. Mm-hmm. You know, you get the sweet, but then there's a little bit of char on there.
Yeah.
I like that.
It's good.
Having had, all three of the batches last year, Eric, how do you feel about this one?
I like it better than C. I don't remember much about A.
It was flat.
522 is still my favorite Larceny barrel proof of that they've put out. 522 is better than this. It's way more rounder, way more approachable. This is just like this is
my second favorite Larceny barrel.
This
proof
is
batch.
probably the most impressionable other than 522.
You know
I've
what?
had.
What was your first?
The B522 from last year, the
Okay.
second batch. This
Yours too, Eric?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
The finish is starting to go burnt popcorn.
There's a burnt
For me.
thing on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that
less
would be the
char.
burnt butter or something like that.
Yeah. I don't hate it, but like the finish is definitely not my favorite out of all this.
I would treat this like a benchmark foolproof. You know what I mean?
As a
Yep.
utility bourbon.
Utility bourbon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's there.
It's got the proof. It's got a little bit of notes. It's good. It's not going to be your complex pour. It's not going to be like your special pour. It's just going to be, you want to make a high proof cocktail out of it, do it. You want to drink it over ice, do it. You want to just kill it, do
You can
it.
do whatever you want
Yeah.
to with it.
You know,
Yeah.
I have done a lot of out of curiosity, high proof cocktails, high proof old fashions. I still think that Rare Breed is the best high proof bourbon for an old fashioned.
Is it better than the secret one at OBC?
The Mastodon,
Yeah.
What is it?
they use Booker's.
Yeah. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's different
That's pretty good.
because
Don't
they
tell
use
anybody.
That's pretty good.
as we tell everybody.
We tell the whole world.
Literally anybody can listen.
It's
to
a
this.
mastodon.
It's the Mastodon at OBC. Just ask for it.
Just talk to Iverson.
Still like $70 a bottle.
Worth it?
I don't mind it.
I don't
it.
mind 70. I don't mind 70. If I can get it at 70, now if you raise the price up to 80 and above and start pushing 100, I'll probably pass. But I see it in the store, $70. I'm going to enjoy it because what's the proof on it, Papa Ritter?
125.2, I think.
Yeah. 125.8.
And what is it
sorry.
usually like 6 years old?
6 to 8.
6 to 8?
Is the
Doesn't
batch
say it's
typically.
year on it.
No, I think that's just like what
In
we've
general.
heard. I like it for
Yeah.
$70.
Well, look.
I think though, maybe for like a consistency standpoint, I would rather go with Maker's cast strength.
Well, you're going to save some money too.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean that's a $70 bottle versus a $40 bottle. When was the last time you had Maker's cast strength?
Tonight?
Last night?
No.
Tonight?
Oh, you're gonna
In
get
the
some.
future?
You're gonna get some for tonight.
Uh-huh. Well, I have some at home.
Back from the future.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I was looking through because I was thinking about how much I had left to put into the infinity bottles.
Yeah.
And a bottle. And I have more than I need to put in.
Yeah.
So
I don't
I'm going to have a little tonight.
I don't remember the last time I had actual cast strength makers, but I had that DNA.
The DNA.
I have never opened the cast drink 46.
Really?
It's pretty good.
I know. I don't know why. I don't know why. I don't know why. Terry,
Save it for a good time.
Well, open it on Sunday, I guess.
what do you want for dinner? Who's coming over for dinner?
Yeah. You know what'd be really good is because you're getting like that secondary wood finish. If we did
Chicken pot pie.
no. I was gonna say like
I gotta grill out.
I was gonna say like flank steak with a cedar plank
We'll probably do-
underneath. Like on
Ooh.
yeah. Give it a little bit of a richness to it.
Okay.
That's my thinking.
You and April coming over?
I'll probably be.
You'll be in business.
I'll be driving back from Muncie, Indiana, with my daughter from volleyball tournament, trying to watch the Bills and the Bengals play.
Dude, I listened
We'll
to
Getting
turn
mad.
the game on for you.
I was so on your side last week when I heard about you and your son at the Bills game.
Yeah,
Or at the
Bengals game. Yeah,
You know, hometown crowds can be such jerks.
Well, they can.
I went, Uncle Don and I went to see the Jets and the Dolphins. And
When was this? Marino times?
no,
Oh.
I did see Marino.
Really?
I saw Marino and the Patriots.
He used to be my guy.
I saw a Monday night game with the Patriots, and when they sucked, and the Dolphins sucked too. But Don and I saw a Jets and Dolphins game in Miami, and we sat up in the upper level of the stadium, and man, I got the crap for being a Jets fan.
Yeah.
The guys wanted to throw beer on me.
Oh, it's crazy.
I'm like, I'm here to enjoy the game. I didn't have anything Jets on. I mean,
They just found out.
and they found out, and it's just like, it sucks.
It
And I
does.
felt for your son, so
Well, he still didn't pay attention, so he just enjoyed it. He's mad because the Ravens didn't win, but
You got a haircut.
he did get a haircut.
he did get a haircut.
Thank God. That mushroom haircut was killing me.
I need a haircut. Anyway,
Dude,
I need a haircut, and I don't. Even
I just
have
had a
hair.
haircut.
I need my sides cut.
do we want to go ahead and
Let's get
review
the shears out.
the Larceny before we move on to the Elijah Craig?
Yeah, let's do it.
Because I don't want to be like,
I think it's going to be a little bit more.
taking
of a
too much
conversation
time.
on the.
yeah. I guess I should establish the review
Here
system.
we go. Reset.
I could go through my whole thing and tell you a score if you wanted me to.
You don't want to go score by score?
No, I could. I'm saying I got it all in my head. I could go bam, 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 and tell you, or if you want to go round table, we can.
Let's just go person by person.
Okay.
I think is probably the easiest. So nose, palate, finish, and price, the 4 categories that we rate bourbons with. Each category is out of 5, and then we give it a total score out of 20. If you want to multiply by 5, figure it out what it is out of 100. I mean, feel free to, but we have a pretty strong established system of like anything from 13 to 15 is a recommend. And then beyond that, it's like, yeah, good luck, I guess.
Right.
Do you want to go first?
I can.
Okay, go for it.
I like the nose better than the palate. I gave it a 3.5. I like the palate a little bit. It's a little just boozy, not too complex. I gave it a 3. I think the finish is the weakest part because the finish just kind of has a burn. Like I don't get any extra notes on the finish.
Yeah.
And then I think the price is solid for what it is. I gave it a 12.
Nice.
But yeah, I think the price is one of the best parts of it. I think for that, a weeded barrel proof bourbon these days, like if you can get it at 70, I'm okay with it.
Yeah, for sure. Papa.
I was thinking like a 3.5-4 on the nose. I'll go 4.
This is pretty good.
Palate. I like the palate. I'll give it a 3.5. The finish, I agree with you, Eric. It's just,
Yeah.
2.5.
Yeah.
And then price, I don't know. Give it a 3.
There you go.
Price, we talked about this last week as far as like, the difference between a 4 and a 5 in terms of, like how big of a gap that is in, something that you really like or love and something that you really love.
Yeah.
Right.
Or can't compare anything to. And I think that price is probably, the most subjective part of what we review because it's purely based on like, what can you afford? How much money can I actually spend?
Sure.
So
Who has it for that price? Yeah.
We kind of go back to what we were just talking about.
Yeah. I mean, a $70 price point for this is reasonable for me, but it's also because I've spent enough time within the community, within bourbon, to have had my feelers out and go, well, there's these products that I could get instead. There's this product that maybe could be a little bit better than what I'm tasting, but as far as I'm concerned, the Heaven Hill barrel proof products in general, I mean, the only time that I would ever really consider changing my price score is if the batch itself is so out of this world that I can't even like comprehend it.
Yeah.
You know, like something like a C918 or an A120 or things like that. But I always tend to gravitate towards a 4 with the Heaven Hill barrel proofs. So I'm going to work my way somewhat backwards, start with a 4 on the price. I still think that $70 for, you know, when you look at the cast strength wheated products, and, you know, part of this too is that people are trying to compete with the popularity of Weller. They're trying to compete with the popularity of Van Winkle. And so they're like, well, this is also a wheated product. So if you like those bottles, you're probably going to like what we're doing. And it's less of a pricing scheme of confidence and more of a pricing scheme of we want to sucker you in to what we're doing. So 4 for me, just because this is a great value product when you consider everything that goes into it. I actually perfectly mirrored your rankings, Dad. I gave a 4 on the nose. I gave a 3.5 on the palate and a 2.5 on the finish. I don't like how ethanol-y it gets.
It is.
On the finish.
Yeah.
I mean, it just sits with you more than anything.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, it does still kind of represent a lot of what's going on with the palate, but it's so primarily alcohol that I don't know. I would have a hard time justifying a lot of, you know, pretense around trying to pick
It's
this
a good
up.
product,
So,
though.
Yeah.
for the so 11, I guess 11 out of 20. Is that what I gave it?
I can't remember what my number was.
I don't know. In my head, I said 12. I may have been off on my math, but I'm saying.
Oh wait,
I think you're higher than that.
no, I'm 14.
Yeah, you're higher than 12.
Yeah, 14 out of 20.
I can't do
Sorry.
simple math. Never could.
It's good. I wish it were a little bit better, but I do still think that what we're seeing right now is that Heaven Hill has their head on their shoulders squarely, and they are moving in the right direction with the Larceny barrel proof line. Dad?
Question.
Yes. Answer, daily double.
Have they put a bottled and bond out,
Who?
Heaven Hill?
Yeah.
Why are you looking at me like
Old
that?
Fitz.
What?
The Old Fitz products.
Why?
The decanters, those
Yeah,
fancy
but
decanters.
Perry's looking at me like,
And
is that the latest?
Oh, it's the old one.
I know it's the old one. I still have that.
Bottled and Bond? They have the Old Fitz line,
Okay.
and then they have the
They have that.
7-year.
Okay.
They've also got JTS Brown and
I know.
Dan.
Mel-
But anything that
corn.
compares to the...
Like on the level of like limited and stuff.
Yeah.
Like that. Yeah, I'd say the Old Fitz line.
You both looked at me like I
yeah.
was insane.
Well, I got worried for a second. I was like,
Oh no, it's happening.
I got worried. You forgot that Heaven Hill put out Bottled and Bond products.
I know they...
Papa Ritter.
He's gone. He's gone.
I knew that.
Okay. Well,
Can I just go?
no.
Can I just leave? I don't want to be around anymore.
Nobody likes me anymore.
So that's their weeded distillate, but it's 15 years old and Bottled and Bond.
I don't want to talk anymore.
Wait till you've had the Elijah Craig, and
Yeah.
then you can have some of that.
Okay.
Papa's mad.
I didn't mean to make you mad. I got worried.
This is that thing where like you're at your friend's house and like the parents you get yelled at, and I'm like,
That's how
I'm
I
not-
feel. I
I'm
want to
not
sink in my
mad.
chair. I want to go in the corner.
I'm not mad.
let's drink some Elijah Craig.
I know you're not mad.
Elijah Craig makes
I'm
everything
not
better.
mad.
I know you both like it. Get to drinking.
All right, so we're moving on to the
Let's
Elijah
go.
Craig barrel proof.
Oh, that smells good. That smells real good.
Oh. Oh. Does Elijah Craig still make the bond?
Elijah Craig bottled and bond?
There's never.
I've never seen that one.
Never.
No.
Hey, shout out.
Shout out.
Ooh, if they should.
Shout out to the non-existent Elijah Craig bottled and bond, baby.
Bring it.
Does this not remind you of the oatmeal cream pies that we had?
It does.
It reminds me of chocolate covered oatmeal cream pie.
Oh, yeah.
There's
for
like
sure.
a chocolate front, and then there's oatmeal, and there's vanilla. Yeah. Chocolate.
Sorry.
125.3 proof.
Thank God they're getting back up there.
Yeah. I know that there's been this discourse over the past couple of years of Elijah Craig's not what it used to be. They've strayed from
they don't have the bottle
what
and
they
bond.
they strayed away from what they were. I think this is indication that they have successfully redirected themselves back to what they were doing.
I think when they opened up that single barrel program for barrel proof, I think they gave up a lot of like those characteristics that make the older Elijah Craigs good and stand out. You know what I mean? Like a lot of those picks have that like and stuff like that. And then the batches have been kind of soft. You know what I mean?
Yes. I see
They
what
have the
you're
what?
saying. Here's the softness. I see what you're saying. My only issue with that though is that you're comparing single barrels that are consistently no younger than 8 years old with a small batch that is no younger than 12, right?
Yeah, I've had like
So
the
those-
11-year-old picks and stuff.
I know, but what I'm saying is that surely they took those 8-year-old barrels that were somewhat similar to the 12-year-old batches.
Yeah.
And they went, well, this is not going to improve anymore in the barrel. Let's, put these out for people to select from.
Could be.
Right? So,
Or they could have said, you know what? We'll see what happens.
yeah.
I
But,
don't know.
but
I know what you're saying.
But you also run the risk of if you age it any longer than where it is at the moment, and it's still very good where it is,
Yeah.
that you're going to over oak it, or you're going to get to a point where people don't like it.
Yeah.
So I see the value in both sides of it,
Yeah.
but I really do think that they made the right choice by offloading particular stock
Yeah.
in order to, reserve some of their more prime barrels for Elijah Craig Barrel Proof, Parker's Heritage,
Sure.
if they needed it
Yeah.
too. So
I don't even know what I said.
And now you know how I feel. I like this.
Man, I can smell. I haven't even tasted it
I
yet.
know.
I love the nose on
Give
this
it a
so
taste,
much.
dude.
I will.
All right. Chris is waiting.
Ooh.
it's definitely got more depth
I was getting ready to
than
say
the
that.
Larceny.
I was getting ready to say this is one of the more depthy. That's not even a word, but like Elijah Craig Barrel Proofs I've had. Like it reminds me of the 18s and the 19s and stuff.
I think too, Heaven Hill is very responsive to criticism, and they are very responsive to people saying, I miss things the way that they were. Not always do they go, we're going to course correct and make what we used to make. But I do think that they listen with things like this and say, well, we're going to please the people who have been long-term fans.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think there is some older stock in this.
Yeah. You know what it reminds me of?
What?
What we were talking about earlier, a barrel proof old fashioned.
Oh, yeah.
It's got a little orange.
Yeah,
orange
Yeah.
zest on it.
citrusy.
Yeah.
It's citrusy for sure.
Yeah. Kind of zoned out there for a little bit.
Happens. I do it all the time.
It's like,
Andy's back.
hello.
Yeah.
Go.
This is a really good barrel proof old fashioned to me. Like it's citrusy, got some bitters in it. If you add maybe a little bit of like maple syrup in it.
It's my favorite release of Elijah Craig Barrel Proof since A120.
It is better than...
So it's taken me 3 years to find another batch that I have liked as much as my second favorite batch of all time.
Yeah.
From Elijah Craig
Just
Barrel
going back
Proof.
from a year, it's way better to me than all three of last year's batches.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. That's good, man.
It is
love
good.
that.
I really do enjoy it. So we'll go the same kind of round robin style of reviewing nose palate, finish, and price. Do you want me to go first this
You
time?
go first.
You go first.
Nose is a 3.5 for me. I think it's the lightest part of this whole product. Palate is a 4. It again kind of pushes its way back towards what we used to love about Elijah Craig Barrel Proof, but it's missing a little bit of a dark caramel, dark chocolate that was a little bit more pronounced back then. Finish, I think, is incredible. It just makes me want to keep going back. It's a 4 as well. I mean, I can't argue with the price. Again, like I said, 4 for $70 a bottle. So that's a 15.5
Dang.
out
I
of
like that.
out of
I
20.
like that.
Yeah.
Unsurprising, I think, especially with how much I love Elijah Craig Barrel Proof. But it's so quintessential Heaven Hill. And I mean, this just feels like a Heaven Hill perfectly curated product.
Yeah.
Not perfectly, but very well curated product.
Close to perfect.
So approaching perfect, but they got off on the wrong exit.
Well, they shouldn't have done that.
Oh, yeah. That's good.
I mean, my goodness.
The nose, amazing to me.
Yeah.
4.5.
I'm
on
with
the
you.
nose. I love the nose more than the palate. I could smell that thing. Like, I just imagine. What?
I'm mostly laughing at Dad laughing.
Smell that
With
thing?
you. I can smell that thing.
Hey,
Oh, that's a good shirt. Smell that thing.
smell that
Smell that
thing.
thing.
And it has a thing of-
THANG.
I smell it has a thing of bourbon there.
Yeah.
Or an arrow.
Just a like faceless nose.
No.
Dipping into a.
It's like a sketch of like a dude holding a glass of bourbon down, and it's like what from chest to above his waist, and he's holding the bourbon like right midsection. It says "Smell that."
Smell
thing."
that. Smell that
You mean like
thing.
those like big T-shirts that women wear at the beach? It's like a slim bikini
It
body.
has the glass, and
yeah,
it says
exactly.
"Smell that thing."
Yeah.
4.5 on the nose, 3.5 on the palate. It's solid. It's better than it has been.
Yeah.
I would just knock it down a little bit. It's kind of like an old fashioned, like you're getting your ingredients and that's it. Finish, so good. 4. That's not how I do math. 4.5.
Do you guys get this
4?
like
Calculating.
this grittiness
Kinda.
to it almost?
A little
like
bit.
it's a weird
As you say
texture that feels like. And the only thing I can relate it to, I don't know if you guys have ever had
Oh
these
my God.
duck eggs.
Nope.
I've had duck eggs.
They're really gritty.
They are.
That's what that texture reminds
It's
me
gritty.
of. But
I gave the price a
What?
3.5. I'm a 15.5 out of 20.
same score as me.
Yeah. That's
Hey.
what I'm talking about.
I'll go 4 or 5 on the nose.
Okay.
Palate, I'm like a 3.
Okay.
Finish is a 4 or 5.
Okay.
The price, I'll go 3.54. If I'll go 4.
4. Ooh.
So I probably went a little
16.
bit over y'all,
Ooh,
0.5
yeah,
over.
16.
but I like it a lot.
But I mean, we're still in the same tax bracket.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I like a lot.
I like it a lot.
Damn, that's good.
Damn.
All right. Blended.
Oh
Blended.
well, I don't have any
We can make that.
Larceny.
What do you got?
I got very little.
Put you a little scooch of that right in there. There you go. That's probably a scotch, not a scooch.
Well, that's all I got, dog.
Good enough.
Scooch, scotch, scooch.
Oh my god,
It's really good.
That might be it right there.
That's it.
That's what I'm
That's what I'm talking about.
I would buy both of these just to blend them together.
It's like the FAEs from 2021.
Yeah. The one and the two.
You know,
I'd spend $140
really
on
like
this blend.
That's an honest statement right there.
Don't hurt him.
Let's get one of each and put it in the barrel.
Okay.
That'd be great.
Do y'all have a
The
barrel
bad
going?
thing is, it's probably harder to find the Larceny than it is Elijah Craig.
Probably.
I never hardly see a Larceny barrel.
I saw a C922 yesterday.
And they're always like months off of each other.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Well, that's good. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
I think it's a good
Put that
call.
on the vision board.
Christopher, can you
Christopher, write that down. Thanks.
You betcha.
What's our time?
stop flexing?
Oh,
dude.
we're good.
Okay. All right. We're fine.
Check out his abs, man.
I see him. I check them out every time I come over.
High proof hot takes.
Yes.
Do you have anything?
I've been saving this the whole time.
Oh, okay.
Is this like tips and bits?
Well, no.
Do you
but
have... Okay, let's go. Papa
This is
Ritter
an
first.
opinion.
Do you have
that,
one?
No.
Okay.
Just go.
It's a hot take. Do you have a hot take
I've been very anxious this week,
about,
so I haven't
about
felt
anything? You go first, because I got one that...
No, you go.
No, you got to go first. I got to save this
You can tell I don't.
one. Okay.
Go.
This just came to me last night.
Ew.
Really?
That's the wet fart that just happened there.
That was
I
gross.
feel like
for
you kinda-
people that are just listening for the first time,
I feel
that's
like
my
you kinda
son.
understand what's going on then. My hot proof hot take is you right now. Yeah. I waited till Papa Ritter came over here in case we got into a fight over this.
What did I do?
I would never.
What did I do?
Would you just let us go at it, or would you just stop it?
Are we gonna have?
No, I'd stop it.
Are we gonna have a moment?
Are y'all on? Uh-oh, shit.
I don't know.
I'm over here on my break last night, scrolling through Instagram, you know, and I see this horrible post. It's fucking Taco Bell trying to make a box, and they put wings on it, like Taco Bell can make wings.
You think this is my fault?
Stop. Let me finish. It's wings, which Taco Bell has no business making wings. There's tacos. There's like a diarrhea pizza on there. You know how I feel about Taco Bell, right? Do you?
Oh,
Do you?
yeah.
We've talked about this. You were on my side. You defended me. And I screenshotted this, and I'm gonna airdrop it to you, and you're gonna upload it right here on the screen. Oh, this new box. What's the who do I see that liked that, Papa Ritter? Who liked that post?
Well, it was my son.
Perry. You know that I have an Instagram. You know that when your friends like things, it pops up on their feed. And the first name I see here,
I'll be right back.
P. Ritter, 1792. Perry, how could you do this to me? How could you like an abomination of a post from somebody that did that to me and my family? How could you? How could you? How could you, man?
I had to console my son.
How could you
I
like
understand,
that?
I understand where Uncle Eric is going, but I have to console my son.
I am not your uncle.
I am
more of your
he's
son.
my granddaughter's uncle.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go back now.
Okay. So that's my high proof hot take. Taco Bell shouldn't be making wings. And I can't believe you liked that post. Yeah, god damn it. How could you?
I don't have a good defense.
I'll do a hot take.
Were you
just
hungry?
I was definitely hungry last. So here's my thing. This is my only defense.
You lay there like a slug?
I'm dieting because my goal is 200 by 30.
He's
Right.
killing it,
No,
guys.
I understand that. So it makes you feel better to like food posts?
No. It's a knee-jerk reaction. And here's the thing. I was already following Taco Bell before I made that decision.
You didn't unfollow them after what they did to me?
Those sons of bitches.
Yeah, exactly.
Those
I will
sons
sit,
of
but-
bitches.
I don't remember which account I follow them from.
P. Ritter 1792.
Okay.
I know.
There.
Done it.
I've unfollowed.
He unfollowed him. We saw it.
I'm going to make
I
sure,
saw it.
too, that Timbip is not following. Okay.
Okay, Perry,
Timbip is not.
can I
So-
just ask you a question real fast? So,
Sure.
what are we going to do with Dane?
What about Dane?
He's Sweden. He's a neutral third party.
I can't attack him.
No, you
He
can't.
likes Taco Bell a lot.
He loves Taco Bell.
And like we went to see Dead and Company, and well, for 72 miles he wanted to go to Taco Bell because
Ate dinner with him.
who, Dane?
Yeah.
Yeah, at the meetup last year.
There you go.
I sat with him.
He's a good
I
dude.
broke bread with him.
Well, Eric,
And he turned my heart into a chalupa and ate it.
That's a metaphor if I've ever heard one.
it's really
I
kind
don't
of
know.
gross.
Look,
So
I love you.
I don't have a hot
I
take.
love you too.
I'm trying to break
I
up a
love you too.
Oh,
fight.
sorry.
I'm
Anyway.
trying to break up a fight.
Tips and bits.
Tips and or bits. What you got?
Cheap Trick.
Cheap Trick.
Is this your card? No. Is this your card? No. Sorry. It's a cheap.
This band brought every cheap trick out of their arsenal. So, if you know me, one
I
of
do.
my favorite bands has always been Cheap Trick.
Is this true?
It's true.
Okay.
It's true.
Confirmed.
You said that like he was hooked up to a lie detector, and you were waiting for me. You're asking him questions.
There's a great book that I'm reading right now. And it's called "This Band Has No Past," and that is the first sentence in their liner notes from their first album. That's called Cheap Trick, and God, I can't remember the author's name, but he Eric's gonna look it up for me. The author, y'all look it up for me so we can give him a shout out. Jeff Ament from Pearl Jam wrote the foreword, who's also his favorite band. It is a book that goes from the beginning.
Brian J. Short?
That's correct. It goes from the beginning of the Nielsen family, Rick Nielsen, up into I haven't finished it yet, up to the Budokan shows. So we're looking through, the 40s into the mid 70s. It's also a history book. Like Brian puts in a history lesson in each chapter about what's going on in the era of Cheap Trick's existence. It's very cool. Vietnam, the Nixon stuff. That's as far as I am right now in the book. They're a great band. I mean,
I thought they were only like an 80s band.
no.
I didn't know.
Their first three albums are amazing. They put out the live Budokan album, which it's good. That's where I found them.
Yeah.
But I had read about them in magazines before I got to see them. I knew that they had opened for Kiss and Nugent and acts like that. And then they put out Dream Police after the Budokan and All Shook Down. And then they kind of fell off a little bit. They had some other 80s hits, and then my favorite Cheap Trick album is an album called Cheap Trick, and it was like it's the tour I saw them at A1A in town years ago, where Bunny Carlos gave me their set list and a bunch of guitar picks, and I think it was like 1987, 89, something like that.
Nice.
So Cheap Trick,
Cool.
Cheap Trick. So,
Well, I'll bounce off of that and say that I just got done reading Dave Grohl's
that's next.
memoir.
That and a
my
Pearl Jam
gosh.
book.
I've given a couple of books a 5-star rating on Goodreads. This was one of them, and I mean, it's not the best written book, but I think it is the best told or best spoken book. And there were multiple times. I mean, I was sitting here, literally here, working, and I was listening to him tell stories, and I lit up, and the ball dropped, and I just like almost fell out of my chair because I was
Really?
laughing so hard, just out of pure like joy for it, not of like it was the funniest thing I'd ever heard, but one of my favorites. There's so many, but there were two that he told back to back. The first one was
No spoilers.
They were on tour. Well, you can find video
doesn't
of
matter.
it on YouTube. The first one was that they were on tour in
When you say
think
they,
Japan.
do you
Foo
mean
Fighters?
Okay,
Foo Fighters were in Japan, and they got word that Huey Lewis was around. And one of the members of the band lit up and was like, "Oh, that's one of my favorites. I love Huey Lewis. News is one of my favorite albums." And he came backstage to meet them and everything. And Dave goes, "Well, you should totally come and do like a harmonica solo with us," because that was what he was.
he's an amazing harmonica
he's
player.
incredible.
So is Eden.
Oh, she's
Nice. Already?
she's something
yeah.
else, dude.
Oh yeah.
Dave goes, "Well, we can probably find one for you." Couldn't find one. He talks to his tour manager. He was like, "Do whatever you have to." They're in Tokyo. "Do whatever you have to find a harmonica for this man." And they were like 4 or 5 songs into the set, and he looks off stage, and his tour manager is just waving a harmonica in the air. And Huey Lewis comes out and does it's just like a weird random blues
Impromptu.
kind of impromptu song, exactly. But then the other one was they were also in Japan, and they were being asked by the BBC to do a cover of a song. And they were like, they were at a festival. They had no idea what they were going to do. And they were looking through the group of people who were on the bill. One of them was Rick Astley. Yes.
That
yes.
guy?
Yes.
Never gonna give you
Yeah.
up.
Well, the thing was, they were like,
let you
it would be
down."
so funny if we did Never Gonna Give You Up.
Oh, I hope they did.
They were in rehearsal before the show. They were playing through it. Dave goes, "This is basically the same chord progression as Smells Like Teen Spirit."
Oh,
And so in practice, they got to the point where like the songs didn't really have a difference between the two.
Nice.
And they were about to go on stage. They were just kind of messing around, doing that and everything. They were about to go on stage.
warming up.
Rick Astley comes by and they were like, "Hey, we just learned Never Gonna Give You Up. You should come play it with us." And he was like, "Absolutely, I will." And there's video of it on YouTube,
Oh,
and it's incredible.
it's the,
I mean, it's
I gotta see it. I'll see
absolutely
it tonight.
wonderful.
I'll watch it
Yeah,
tonight.
I'll text it to you.
Thank you.
For sure.
Thank you.
But the storyteller is Dave Grohl's book.
Sarah says that I should listen. Sarah says, touch your nose.
You should listen to
touch
it.
your chin.
I think it's
Sarah didn't say
a
so.
better experience
To
listening to
yeah, that's
him
what she
tell the
said
stories.
too.
Yeah.
And
That's what she
so
said.
It'll make you I cried on multiple
okay.
times too. I mean,
Well,
it's really,
love
really
Dave.
good stuff. He's awesome. I have such a profound respect and love for him after listening to his book. And I mean, I don't love Foo Fighters. I have,
I love Foo Fighters.
There are great songs that they have made, and I haven't taken the time to actually like sit down and really get into their catalog. But just as a person, just an immense respect for who he is.
Can you think about anybody else that's been in two of the world's top bands that have lost the two of the biggest members ever that he was in? He was in Nirvana, and freaking Kurt kills himself, and he's in Foo Fighters, and Taylor dies. I mean, it's never happened. It's never, ever, 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 ever happened.
I mean, the only person else I can think of is Mitch Mitchell from the Jimi Hendrix Experience, the drummer. Because I mean,
but he was out of Jimmy. Yes, I understand what you mean.
You see what I mean, though?
Yeah.
Like because he was part of Jimmy's outfit when Jimmy OD'd.
Yeah.
I mean, he was still playing with Noel Redding too up until his passing a couple of years ago.
But they were not at the same level in the world that either Nirvana or Foo Fighters were.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
No, I get what you're saying. I mean, that's
the
only other.
This time last year, the Foo Fighters were, carrying the music world.
Releasing a horrible movie.
I didn't see it.
It's-
I heard it was
Studio
so.
666.
It's
I heard
okay,
it was
but-
so bad.
We were supposed to watch that together.
I know.
Well, you didn't do it.
I waited a while.
Well, you had to do it, Eric.
I had to watch it. It's not that great.
Fine, moving on.
Okay, Eric.
Oh,
Did you like how I just jumped in that?
yeah, I like that. You're the producer. You got to keep us on track.
How
I watched a little documentary of Tony Hawk called "Till the Wheels Fall Off."
is that?
Amazing.
Okay.
Love it. It goes from his point of like being a little kid and just beginning skateboarding to now still being retired and still working through pain to try to do stuff. It goes a lot into he apparently, I didn't know this before, I knew a little bit about it, but when he was growing up, he was just naturally talented, great skateboarder, but he was always the youngest. So his dad,
I get that.
I
get being the youngest. But
yeah.
Go ahead.
But his dad decided, like, if he's going to do all these competitions, his dad, he was way older than Tony. Mm-hmm. Well, of course he was older than Tony, but as
I hope so.
Well, as a dad, he was way older than what a normal kid would have that age. He took over like the local competitions and was like, I'm going to run this. So skaters started hating Tony because your dad's ruining skateboarding, because he was this old man and he tried to tell them they couldn't do stuff if they weren't allowed to. And Tony was trying to be the cool skateboarder with the older guys, and this guy comes in and starts trying to police skateboarding things.
It's his dad.
Yeah. But he powered through it and he kept doing it. And then it shows like he had this rivalry with this guy that was like, in there when Tony's dad took over, the guy was like straight up mean.
Jerk.
And then later on, like this guy's son died and Tony was comforting him, and like the guy's like, I can't believe this guy that hated me so much, or we hated each other so much, has come around and he's doing this. It just shows, and it even shows Tony's low. I mean, like Tony had a problem with his marriages and stuff like that, and with being a father, he would, go out and party while his kid was with him on skate tours and stuff like. And it really leaves nothing. to the imagination. Like, he goes over everything, and it's just a solid documentary about Tony Hawk.
Doesn't sound too indifferent from the Shaq documentary that you recommended.
Yeah,
a couple
exactly.
weeks
It's
ago.
very similar. It shows growing up, the hardships you got to do, then you become successful, and then you realize you've messed up, and then you keep doing it until you're basically killing yourself for this sport, and then you're still trying to do stuff, and like, it's great. The music's great on it. Like, there's so many good interviews. Caballero's on it. Everybody that he did Vert with is on it. It's just a great documentary till the wheels fall off.
There was a 30 for 30 with Ric Flair that was like the same
it's
thing
so
that
good.
he did.
Yeah.
You see it?
Yeah.
I know you did.
That's great too.
That he did everything and ruined his family. And,
Yeah, I have a feeling there's going to be a Tom Brady documentary like that too.
there's going to be.
Yeah.
Can I do a couple of shout outs real fast?
Shout
Before
'em out.
we yell out bye-bye. And first off,
bye.
my Volume Maniacs from the old Volume show.
Shout out Volume
Channel.
Maniacs.
Yeah, to Jim from Ohio.
Jim from Ohio, shout out.
And Dina and April from California.
Dina and April from California.
Yeah,
What's up?
and then some Pearl Jam friends, Randy, who has a great podcast, Live on Four Legs.
Live on Four Legs. Shout
One
out.
of our Patreon supporters.
Yeah, one of our
actually.
Patreons. Randy's a
I've
great
met
guy.
Randy before.
Did you? Where'd you meet him?
Yeah. Do you know all this?
No.
You met Randy? Yeah.
Where?
Crutchfield Meat Market.
Not that, Randy.
No, let him tell.
Go ahead.
No, we're getting ribs. I was cooking. He was cooking. We were getting ribs.
All right.
Yeah, and he actually was like, hold up. I was getting ready to grab this
I
rib.
didn't know Randy came to Lexington.
Yeah. And I was going to grab, I've met a few people that listen to the show at Crutchfield.
Right.
And I'm going for this rib, and he goes, no, stop. He goes, look at that rib. Does that look like you could play a song on it? And I go, well, I don't know what that means, but not really. But he's like, look at this one. He's like, you can make a great Pearl Jam song out of this rib. And I go,
Didn't.
well, if you say so. So I took that, and it was probably the best ribs I ever made. And I never seen Randy again, but I remember that encounter.
And what was the song?
Yellow Ledbetter.
I don't know. That one that they played
Alive.
on. That one that the guy
Anyway.
on Salute Your Shorts liked the most, and he had the pick, and he made an earring out of it.
Okay. Anyway, my friend Angela and Jen too. Hey.
Angela and Jen, what's
And
up?
Baron Corbin.
Barrett Corbin, I know that guy.
Do you know that guy?
Yeah.
So you're friends with Dax Hardwood?
Yeah.
I want some of that tequila that you sent him, Baron.
Oh.
I really want to try it.
I'll see what I can do.
And I know
That
Dax.
was me acting like I was Baron Corbin.
Oh shit!
I'll see what I
Okay.
can do.
You're a good mediator, though.
You are.
right.
Yeah, I
I've
see
had a
what I can do.
blast.
Yeah.
It's been a fun episode.
I hope everybody else enjoyed it
He
as
went
much
straight
as
into
I
I've
did.
had a blast from the shout outs.
He did. He was ready to wrap it up.
Yeah, I need some of that. I've had a blast.
Yeah. You know what else is a blast?
Patreon.com.
Exactly.
You can go to patreon.com/mybourbonpodcast for as little as $1 a month. You can support the show. That just helps us. But at $5, you know what you get? You get Papa Ritter unfiltered. You get him doing a competition against his son.
It was awesome.
Mutant Madness. It was
I was
awesome.
so bad.
He was
Come back next week, anywhere, anytime.
anywhere, anytime. You can listen to this podcast anywhere, anytime.
Anywhere, anytime.
As long as you have like Apple
Look at
or
my son.
Spotify or something like that.
He's so embarrassed.
But go to patreon.com, support the show. You get bonus episodes. You get uncut stuff. You get anything extra we put out. It's honestly the best way to listen to the show. There's didn't even look right
He's
now.
just like, I cut a quick promo and he's like all upset.
Got a promo.
I cut a promo and he's upset. Hey, if you're going to go see AEW on Wednesday night at Rupp Arena, come and say hey to me.
You heard him. If you want to send us an email, you can send an email to thisismybourbonshop@gmail.com. I think we got one, right? Is that the mailbag?
We do have a mailbag.
You have a barrel.
Sorry. Oh, we got a bunch of stuff.
We got a bunch of stuff. Let me go through them.
We're
and
not
then we'll
done
go back.
yet.
Let me do the housekeeping.
I think that we should knock this one out.
Okay, let
Real
me
quick.
not do the housekeeping. I'm going to listen to Perry.
Yeah. This is from Jared Quant. I
know Jared.
Yeah, I still live 2 weeks behind on podcasts, but had a comment from the January 4th episode. Well, many comments, but only the dog gets to hear some of the saltier ones.
What?
I applaud Perry for being open about trying to lose weight this year. Not everyone can be honest and open about their appearance and desire to change. In case no one has mentioned it to you, doing one of those Whole30 type plans can be a huge help to making meaningful change. I did one a few years back, and while I did lose a bunch of weight, the more important aspect was that I made big improvements in how I ate that continued today. I'm happy to send you the details of that if you're interested. Full disclosure, I didn't do the parts where you stop drinking coffee and alcohol because I'm not effing insane.
There you go.
Literally said F''N insane.
Oh, he did that for
Like
you.
Guns
He
N'
did-
effing
he did that
Roses?
for me. Yeah,
He
exactly.
knew that you were going to say it.
Yeah. And
for him.
Eric, we're trying to we're trying to plan a trip to Disney with our two boys, 6 and 10.
Okay.
And I wanted your opinion on the best time of year to go and the best places to stay on the resort. Our April 2020 trip didn't happen for obvious reasons, and we really want to get back there. We'd like to avoid spring break week because of crowds, but there's only so many weeks in the year where we can get away for 5+ days.
Right.
We have friends in a ... different income bracket that went the throw money at it route and just paid for the super deluxe package.
Sure.
So their input is less useful. Thanks, Jared Pork Loin Quant.
Pork loin.
Because remember, you got pork loin with them at the...
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Pork loin. Yeah.
It's not like Randy that you saw at Critchfield's.
No,
Totally different.
totally different. How old were his kids?
6 and 10.
6 and 10. Okay. 6 and 10. I'm going to say, you said avoid spring break. I'm going to say if you can go after spring break, kind of getting toward the end of April, 1st of May, crowds won't be as bad. That's true. I will be going during spring break this time, and I'm kind of dreading the crowds, but that's a different story. The way I see it is go when it's kind of cool, but there may be a warm day where you can also use the pool.
For sure.
So the kids aren't going to be upset when you're at the parks all day, but you may get a pool day in it. Don't ever think that you've got to go full blown and get deluxe resorts.
No, go to the cheaper ones.
They are called value resorts. There's
enjoy
a
it.
value music, value sports, value movies. There's Pop Century and Art of Animation. The thing about Disney is that they keep everything so clean and updated that you can stay at their cheapest place and it's better than an expensive hotel.
And a lot of them have done renovations over the past few years too,
Almost
so that
all
they are
the-
more comfortable and also just more accessible. And it doesn't feel like you're right on top of each other
Right.
the entire time. I mean, we stayed at the Animal Kingdom Lodge last year, and it was wonderful.
Where did we
That's a
stay,
deluxe.
Pierre?
We stayed at...
And they were doing renovation there, and we had a great time.
Shoot. It wasn't... Maybe it was Art of Animation.
I
I'm
don't
going to
think so.
say, check out Pop Century. Pop Century has what they call the Skyliner.
It wasn't that. I think we were at Art of Animation.
When you're at Disney, you can take buses to all the parks, but they have a Skyliner that's almost like a ride in itself. It's a sky lift that goes to Epcot and it goes to Hollywood. So you can go and just jump on that and go to the park, and it's like
And
you're
you're there.
riding, you're there.
So in 21, we didn't have passes into any of the parks, but we did stay at one of the resorts, and Lucy's aunt was like, "We should go on the Skyliner so we can just see what it's like and everything." The most torturous thing to do at Disney World if you don't have passes
Is just to look at
Oh, 'cause
everything.
you can't get down.
You're just looking at everything. I mean, you can get off if you want
That's
because
the
there's
thing,
no like
yeah.
ticket taker
Yeah.
when you're getting off of the air tram, but you can't go in unless you have passes.
Right.
So you're just watching, every part
Everything.
go by while you're
Yeah.
floating
I
past
get
it.
that.
And I mean, it was pure
I
torture.
wish I was there.
Yeah.
I wish I was there. I wish I was
If
there.
you
I wish I was there.
if you go
Click your
on
heels 3 times.
if you go on the website and you pick like Pop Century, you don't have to even buy a pass for each day. Each day costs, per ticket. You could say we're going to stay at the resort for a day, and then we're going to go to Magic Kingdom, and we're going to go to Hollywood. and then we're going to stay at the resort another day. You can customize it. That's the thing that some people don't realize is that it's not set in stone. You can customize your trip.
Yep.
You can get a cheaper room. You can stay somewhere that's got a Skyliner or whatever. You can go to one park. You can do a park hopper. There's so many things. I would say look at like Pop Century, Art of Animation. You got the Skyliner.
Papa Ritter.
Look at Papa Ritter. Yeah, look at him over there. And then decide maybe you just want to check out one or two parks the first time. And then go in a time where it's kind of after spring break, before summer, so it's not so hot.
I will also recommend, I don't know what the collection method is or payment method is when you're purchasing Disney tickets.
You pay $200 down, and you've got up to 30 days before to make whatever payment you want on it.
Okay.
So you could book it a year in advance and just pay on it for a year.
So if you're doing it through like a secondary website or something, and they have the option for PayPal Pay in 4, do that. It helps ease the financial stress, so that, I mean, it's essentially like a short-term loan,
right?
But it does give you the opportunity to say, well, I can't afford, $2,000 right now. I'm going to break it up into
you can make payments,
four payments of $500.
You don't even have to do that. If you wanted to say we're going to go a year from now, you could book on Disney's website right now, pay your $200 down, and you could pay $50 here, $50 there, $100 there. You have up until the 30 days before to pay whatever you want. So that's like, book it a little later so you can have time to save. Like, either do it through like that what Perry said, or just say we're going to push our trip back a little bit to where we can pay over months. So.
I was going to say, go when your kids are in school. They don't need to go to school. They need to go to Disney.
Yeah, listen to this guy.
They need to go to Disney. They need that education in Orlando.
I don't disagree.
There's
with
no
that.
lines.
Make it an educational
Dude,
trip.
Really? It's cooler. There's nobody there. They're all in school. Your kids are not.
Yeah,
go.
That's true. I'll say that too. School sucks.
Bites.
Fuck school.
I didn't do that.
I did.
I know you did.
We have merch.
Yeah, bourbonshop.threadless.com.
I need a Whiskey Mutant shirt. I thought I was going to get one.
I'll get you one. Don't worry. I got you a little present.
You did?
Yeah. I'll show you in a second.
Are we not going to do it on air?
Yeah, fine. We'll do it
No, we don't have to.
No.
Oh, shoot. I ruined it.
Look
at Perry.
You've got
He's so done with it.
I'm losing control.
You've got an unofficial Whiskey Mutant / My Bourbon Podcast.
Look at my face.
Corksicle.
Thingy. You can put like your beer cans in it or whatever.
Did you do that for me?
Sorry.
Brewmate. Yeah, got this just for you. Customize. I'm going to customize it right here on air. Got this? No, you don't have to get that. You don't need that right now.
Quickly losing control. For sure.
Do we got a barrel rings?
We do have a barrel rings.
This
is the way for you to get on the show on a weekly basis.
It's
if
not
you would
for
like
me.
To
Tell them the number, Papa Ritter.
He can't
859
859
428
428
8253
8253.
All right, here we go.
Hey, Perry. Hey, Eric. Love the show. I had a question for you guys. So I have a son who turned 18 this year, and I decided to get an age-stated bourbon that was distilled in the year of his birth. And I figure on his 21st birthday, I'll give it to him, and hopefully we'll open it up together and share a special pour. I got an Elijah Craig 18, by the way.
Nice.
But it dawned on me that I've got a couple younger kids, and it would be smart to go ahead and try to do the same now, because it's a lot easier to find lower age-stated bourbons, and they're a lot less expensive. So as just a fun exercise, I was wondering if you guys had to get an age-stated bourbon, maybe ranging from 8 years up to 18 years, what product would you get as a special bottle to gift to someone on their 21st birthday? And take into consideration availability and price, and of course quality. Appreciate it. Look forward to hearing your answers. This was Matt from Virginia. Thanks a bunch, guys.
Hey, Matt.
Hey, Matt.
Thanks, Matt.
Nice call.
I think one of the obvious answers is Old Forester birthday bourbon,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? But it is near impossible to actually find anymore. I mean,
Check it out.
a good,
Thank you, Eric. You're welcome. Appreciate it.
a good like Knob Creek pick, with an
I
age
was
statement
gonna
on it.
say, I was gonna say, whatever pick you are into
Yeah.
at that moment, be like, ooh, I
That's
want to
it.
share that with this kid, or like down the road, oh, this one I want to share with this kid, and we can all have it together.
Yeah.
A pick. As far as like a non-pick thing, I would probably say, I don't know. It's not really a age stated one or like a dated one, but like maybe that year's, like if you have younger kids, obviously like Master's Keep.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I got this was the
I like that.
2000
I
whatever
like that a
Master's
lot,
Keep
actually.
and stuff.
Yeah.
And
Make sure
those are pretty easy to get.
Yeah,
too.
make sure to. I mean, if you do something like, you could go about it one of two ways. One, you could find a bottle that was put out the year that they turned a certain age,
Yeah,
or one that
the year
was
they were born.
distilled
Right.
a certain age, and recency bias. I guess I'm thinking of like Knob Creek 18.
Yeah.
Because that's pretty recent. You can still find it in the wild fairly regularly
Right.
as well.
Or you got a maybe an older kid and you got like you could find like a wild turkey, like a 95,
Like a birth
wild-
year?
Yeah,
Yeah.
something like that.
For sure.
Good call.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Are you tired of us yet, Perry?
I'm just tired.
You got a long night.
All social media at My Bourbon Pod.
Yes, that's true.
If you want to go to Instagram and see what Perry likes these days, go to PRitter1792. But if you want to follow the podcast, it's at My Bourbon Pod. If you want to follow me, it's at Whiskey Mutant. If you want to follow Papa Ritter,
I am JD Ritter 2 at Twitter and
at Twitter.
or
At Twitter.
at JD Ritter 2, and then Ritter 5 on Instagram.
There
and
you
then,
go.
And then David Ritter on
Lexington, Kentucky. Come find him.
on Facebook.
Yeah.
That sounded like a challenge for
Yeah,
a fight.
find him.
I'm on the
Come find him,
Snapchat
fuck
thing,
him.
but I never use it.
Oh,
He's on TikTok
that's
too.
kind of
I'm on TikTok too. Never use it.
You can go to YouTube. You can
Yeah.
watch this episode if you want to see.
true.
It's
what's
going to be a
happening.
good one.
Yeah. YouTube. This is My Bourbon Podcast. Perry goes live every Thursday at 8. I try to join him when I can. Papa Ritter's usually in the chat.
I'm in the chat.
And like I said, you can do all the video versions of the episodes. And then if you just want to leave a review, every review counts on Apple Podcast, or you can leave a rating on Spotify. And then just tell people about us. Tell us what you think anywhere you want to.
Yes, and we have some new reviews this week too. This is getting you into the January sample and Zoom tasting giveaway on the Apple Podcast app, which you can do right in app too if you are listening to the show. S for Fidelt.
Who?
I don't know. 5 stars. Bourbon Podcast.
Exclamation
Nice.
Been listening to Perry and the crew for years. Best bourbon podcast around.
point. There you go.
5 stars from Beers Hunter.
Beers Hunter.
Beers
One of my
Hunter.
favorite whiskeys pods.
Whiskey's Pods.
I've been listening to the show for a while because it was very informative, but also usually lighthearted. It has a good combination of news, reviews, and other non-whiskey related content. The show seemed to reach another level when Eric joined Perry on the podcast. Perry created a good format for the show. Then Eric brought something different to the show by pairing different whiskeys to snacks.
You totally did, dude.
It's a show I make sure to listen to every week, usually the day it drops. I can't wait to see what the future holds for these guys.
I think
Rope
somebody
dropping
needs to
the
come
episode.
to
That's
the
a big-
meetup next time.
That's some big praise for
That's
you.
huge.
I don't even know what to say.
And last but not least, 5 stars on the Audible app.
Audible.
Audible.
Audible. You can leave a 5-star review on Audible as well.
And read
Perry-
the Dave Grohl book.
Yes, and for which I did. Pair everything with Perry and Eric. This is from Anthony Aturietta.
Ooh.
Do you know him?
Yeah.
Yeah. He likes donuts.
Where's he from?
Donuts.
Chicago-ish.
He's a bag of donuts.
He is a bag of donuts.
He says, you should know straight away, I friggin' love these guys.
Well, we love you too, Tony.
Eric the Whiskey Mutant has added a whole new level of confidence and power to the show. I'm proud to call Perry and Eric my friends. That being said,
Nice.
Uh-oh.
this concludes my contractually obligated January review.
He's pulling back.
Thanks, Tony. That does it for this week, though. Next week.
What is next week?
First week of February.
No. You still have another week. January's a long month, dog.
No, by the time we record.
It's the longest month of the year.
We're going to record next Friday.
Which isn't February. Well, it dropped. Okay.
That's going to be January 27th. And then
the episode will drop.
It'll be beginning of February. So are we doing anything special for February?
Farty February.
Great. It's just nothing but farts. We'll see.
Glad I'm not there. But I thank you all. Can I say thank you?
Yeah, hit it. Full
Jesus.
screen him. Full screen him.
I'm honored to be here.
You got 30 seconds.
And go.
No, you got.
Thank you all. Thank you all. Shut up. Thank you all for having me. I love you guys. I love being on the show. It's always fun, and I look forward to the next time if I'm invited back. Done.
If.
Well, that was 15 seconds.
Well,
all right. That's fine.
We all got to pee.
Papa Ritter.
What?
It's true.
Thanks for hanging out with us for another episode.
Thank you, Perry. Thank you, Eric. I love you guys.
Love you too, buddy.
Too.
We'll see you all real soon.
Blow it up. Baby!
Blow that baby.
I bet my kid's trying to take a nap. Until next time, I'm Perry.
I'm Eric.
I'm Papa Ritter.
And this is my Bourbon Podcast.
Say terror.
No,
Ritter.
Ritter.
That's a great wrestling name.
Ritter.
Papa
Ritter. Papa Ritter. Papa Ritter.
That's a manager's name. I'm too old. I'm too old to take bumps.
All right. Goodbye, everybody.
Later.